The 49ers schedule just came out. Let's go through it week by week. Pick wins and losses. What's up? Welcome to our instant reaction to the Niners schedule release. That's Tyler C, LaRocca. I'm Grant Cohn. We're going to do this before the before the Warriors play their game in about an hour. We'll go through all 17 games and then talk about our final predictions for their record. So let's get right into it. Week 1 in Seattle on the road, September 7th. What do you think about this matchup?
I think the Niners are going to kick their teeth in.
Ooh. Okay.
I actually think it's going to be a blowout, like the Steelers-Niners week 1 game. I think their whole celebration like they won the Super Bowl, I don't think that sat well in the locker room, and I think they're happy to get their lick back that week.
Okay, here's why I think the Seahawks are going to win this game. These teams played each other not that long ago. It was after the bye week last year. Trent Williams played, Purdy played, McCaffrey played. They scored 17 points at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the Seahawks have a good defense. They added Nick Amenwari to it. The Niners are going to be on the road. It's always tough to communicate in that stadium. I feel like their offense is going to struggle in this game.
I don't know, man. So I'm going to just preface this for everyone listening. I have a lot more faith in the 49ers this season because they seem a lot more focused this season. They seem locked, loaded, and ready to go. From everyone that's been talked to, every interview is the same thing. We're upset about last year, we're pissed off, and we're ready to get to work. So with someone like Saleh back, with Kyle being serious, with the players taking it serious, I really think the Niners are going to be good this year, genuinely.
I respect it. I really don't. I feel like they're either really good or really not good. They're usually not in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Every year under Kyle, they've either gone to the NFC Championship game or missed the playoffs. And I feel like they're kind of an awkward team this year because the offense is going to be healthy early. Trent Williams, if he's there, if he doesn't retire, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, I'll come back eventually, but essentially they'll be healthy early. But the defense will be super young. It might take the defense half a season to be as good as they can be. And then by week 10, what's the offense going to look like? Is McCaffrey going to be out there still? Is Trent Williams going to be out there still? Is Ayuk going to be back? And what's he going to look like? I still feel like 2026, they could be a killer team if this draft is good and next year's draft is good too. But 2025 feels like an awkward year for the Niners. Like they're in between.
Here's my thing about Seattle. Their quarterback, Sam Darnold, and our corners are good. I think our corners are legit good. We got Renardo and we got Demo, which I really like both of them. So I genuinely think that our defense is going to be a lot, especially with how good it is against the run. It should be on paper with Collins and Michael. I genuinely think the defense is going to be a lot better than we expect. I just have
Fair enough.
I
want to point out one more thing about the Seahawks offense. So we're sneering at Sam Darnold, right?
Yes, I will always sneer.
Well, that's why I picked the Vikings to beat the Niners week 2 last year. I didn't even take them seriously. And he lit the Niners up. He was really good in that game. He had like a 98-yard touchdown pass. So I know he doesn't have Justin Jefferson anymore, obviously, but he has faced this defense. And Clint Kubiak, when he was the offensive coordinator with the Saints last year, week 1, they scored 47. Week 2, they scored 44. And then they had a bunch of injuries and they lost like a bajillion games in a row. But I'm just saying, like, don't necessarily expect the Seahawks to come out slow week 1 just because they got a new coach and quarterback.
Oh, I think we're gonna wax them. I genuinely think we are going to wax the Seahawks week 1. I think it's going to be a lot like the Steelers game. Like, I think the Niners have week 1 marked on their calendar. Like, we need to come out and make a statement. After last year, we had no drama this year. They're all Fred's focused. He's ready. He's there. He's ready to go. You have Nick and George, who usually don't do voluntary OTAs. They're ready to go. Like, there have been 0 distractions. As much as the media's tried making the Purdy contract a distraction, he hasn't. So
I think the Steelers are a great comparison for the Seahawks because you can count on the Steelers and the Seahawks to win 9 or 10 games every year.
Mhm.
They're never going to be, I mean, they're usually not going to be a dominant team. They're going to be kind of flawed, but they'll be above average.
Yeah.
And again, the Niners are a volatile team. They'll either be the best team in the division or the worst team in the division. And for me, for them to have the best team in the division this year, they would need McCaffrey and Trent Williams to stay healthy and play at a Pro Bowl level. And they would need a lot of those rookies on defense to start and play, not necessarily at a Pro Bowl level, but at a high level.
Yeah.
I'm not banking on that, but I understand if you are or anyone else is.
Yeah.
We can't predict the future. Although let's try week freaking 2 in New Orleans. Tyler shook. I'm already shook about this game because Tyler, I mean, anyone with the name Tyler, you got to be worried about.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm taking the 49ers to also wax this team. Like their QB room's awful. Their offensive line is awful. Is Kamara even on the team? Didn't he sell his house? Is he still technically on the team? Is he holding out? What's going on with Kamara?
I couldn't even begin to tell you. I don't think anyone takes this team seriously, including the Saints.
Yeah. So, I have us walking through them, to be honest.
A rookie making his second start or Spencer Rattler, and then you got Kellen Moore making his second.
I also don't think
as a head coach, like, I don't like it. Although they do have Kelvin Banks, man. Watch out.
So I'm guessing that's one of the ones we agree on is they are going to smack the Saints around a little bit.
I would have to say that they're going to smack the Saints around, although it is a second road game in 2 weeks, never easy. Yeah. But it's the freaking Saints. Yeah, I would think so. Absolutely.
I'll tell you this, my tune will change a lot if we're 0-2 to start this season. I'll lose
to Tyler Shook. It's all bad. The wheels are falling off immediately.
It's fire Kyle. It's why did you sign Brock? It's all of the questions you could possibly have.
David Lombardi says we are going 17-0. Thank you very much for your candor, David Lombardi. Look forward to reading you in the SF Standard. Week 3, Sunday, September 21st, at home against the Arizona Cardinals. They went 8-9 last year. They beat the Niners twice. They spent money this offseason. They're trying their best to make a push. Josh Sweat, Calais Campbell, Dalvin Tomlinson, Walter Nolan. What do you think?
I have us also winning the Cardinals.
Wow.
I think
he says with the 49ers hat on.
You're coming off a really feel good. I think they're going to beat the brakes off the Saints. So you're coming off a really good win. They're going to feel good. The Niners do well off of wins. I feel like they're like you said, they're volatile. They're very streaky. So I feel like when they get like a really good win that next week, they're like all feeling good. The camp's all high. Like it's when they get like smacked in the mouth. That's when you kind of have to worry about them the week after. Cause it's like, oof, how are they going to respond? But yeah, I like the Cardinals win there.
Plus it's at home. I'm picking the Cardinals. Here's my thing, though, about this team. I feel like it's going to be a close game, man. Like one team was 8-9 last year. The other team was 6-11. It's going to be a close game. Neither team's great. Neither team's awful. But what I saw last year in close games, not only was we know about Kyle Shanahan in close games, but Purdy in close games.
Yeah,
he was the guy throwing picks. And I think the thing with the Cardinals, theoretically, is they can kind of have more of a Philadelphia Eagles style of offense where you're like, Kyler, dude, throw 25 passes.
Yeah.
And 20 of them are super duper safe. Or 22 of them are super. Like your job is to run around and not throw picks. That's Jalen Hurts' job. And Brock Purdy's job is so much more serious than that. It's like, layer the ball over the linebacker in between. It's like, anyway, close game. The Niners lose.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think last year they played where, they had a generational choke job.
Jordan Mason fumbled. Kyle never forgave him.
Yeah, Brock threw 2 picks. I think this is, it's another get-back game, which I really like Niners in revenge games. They're very good at them. At least they were when Debo was on the team. That could be different because Debo was absurd in revenge games unless they were named the Chiefs.
3-0 to start the season. You got him. Yep. I got him 1-2.
Yep.
1-2. Okay. Week 4 against the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. Liam Cohn new head coach over there.
Mhm.
Still got Trevor Lawrence. They added Travis Hunter, and they have Brian Thomas Jr. So theoretically, 2 good wide receivers, a new coach.
I have another win for the 49ers here.
Yeah, me too. It's Jacksonville. That's pretty much the beginning and end of the analysis here.
We beat the brakes off Jacksonville 2 years ago. We beat Liam Cohn and Baker Mayfield last year. I think Liam Cohn is getting a more talented quarterback that's a lot more volatile and worse receiver talent and worse running back talent. So I think Niners win here.
Yeah, I feel like the issue with the Jaguars always is like Trevor Lawrence is getting smacked. He has no time to throw. His offensive line is Walker Little, Ezra Cleveland, Robert Hainsey, Patrick McCarry, and Anton Harrison. Like, okay. He's going to go down in this game like he always does. Yep. And they don't have a running back to help him out. So
I'm with you. Yeah.
You're not phased by their 7.
Nope.
1 and 7
unless a crazy injury happens to like George, then my predictions will change a lot. George is the only one I'm really worried about. Not even Christian.
You're expecting general good health for the 49ers this year.
I'm expecting it not last year. I'm expecting at least semi-good health. Like I said, if Christian gets hurt, I'm kind of banking on that. But I'm expecting Pearsall to at least play week 1. I'm expecting George to be there for 14 games this season and then a playoff run. Same with Nick. I'm expecting Fred to be semi-healthy. So I'm expecting.
How many games do you expect Trent to play this year?
I don't think the Niners are expecting him to play much this year. So from the 4 tackle signings, so I'd expect Trent to give us a good solid 12 to 14 games as well.
Okay. Week 5, Thursday night in LA.
Yeah.
Levi's South.
Yeah.
Against the Rams. Home game for the Niners away from home. Sometimes it feels like more of a raucous crowd for them in LA than for them in Santa Clara. If you know what I'm talking about. You don't know what I'm talking about. What do you think?
These games are always good. They had our number last year. Outside of last year, we've kind of had their number. But I'm going to go because of the short week. I'm going to say the Niners lose.
That's the only reason you're going.
Yes. If it wasn't a short week, if it was a Sunday, I would take the Niners, but I think short week, I think the Rams are going to be actually half decent this year.
You think the Rams will actually be half decent this year? You're going on a limb with that one.
I told you I think Niners are the best team in the division. I think Rams are second. But
I think the Niners are the worst team in the division.
Yeah. So my guess is it's a close loss. I think it's going to be like our December game against LA. Where,
low scoring?
Yeah. And Purdy's just can't get anything going. And that's my assumption there.
Novin says thoughts on Dre Greenlaw injury.
Hurt
his quad. He'll be back for training camp.
Yeah, didn't they say he'd be back? So we'll see. He'll probably get hurt again too.
Yeah. I understand why the Niners didn't want to bring him back.
But what do you got? Wait, do you have the Rams winning?
Yeah, I have the Rams winning.
Well, I don't know.
Obviously, I have the Rams winning. So I have them at 2-3. You have them at 4-1.
Yep.
Week 6, the Rams winning. Then the Rams beat the Niners last year without Cooper Kupp or Puka Nacua. Now they got Devontae Adams.
They had a really bad choke job, and Purdy actually played really well that game.
Devontae Adams going to make them so much more dangerous. Now you can't double him I guess you could double both him and Puka, but you're going to have to.
Yeah, I mean, they're good offensively. That's why I'm giving us 4-1 here. But I think it's going to be close because every time we play the Rams, it's close.
Their defense smoked the Niners offense last time they faced.
They did.
Christian didn't play.
Second time, yes. The first time, Purdy played pretty well. That was the Ronnie Bell game, right?
That was a Ronnie Bell game. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we were a Ronnie Bell away from winning that one, but yeah, they definitely picked up in the latter half. So I think this one's going to be really interesting. This is going to be the test for the Niners, like defense, the youngins.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is going to be.
They got Matthew Stafford.
This is
It's not going to be enough to just stop the run against the Rams. You got to actually pressure the quarterback and cover.
This is going to throw him into the fire, but yeah, I think
Like if you just play zone against Matthew Stafford and he has time, he'll freaking light you up.
Saleh, man. I got so much faith. I love Saleh. I'm a huge Saleh fan, so
am I. I just wonder how good his defense will be week 5.
We'll see.
We'll see. Week 6, Sunday on the road against Tampa.
49ers dub. We beat them last year. It's a long week for us that week, so I like that. We'll be well rested running into Tampa, and we'll beat them again.
I like Tampa in this game. I like Tampa in this game. The Niners did pull out that game last year. They were coming off a bye week. Mm-hmm. They won by 3. It was 23-20.
We also beat them the week before, or the year before, when they were, we kind of have their number a low key.
Dude, I don't want to. If you bring up 2023 one more time, Tyler, that was so long ago. I was a different man in 2023.
And
all right,
think about this.
I looked way better. I was way more handsome in 2023. Look at me now. I look terrible, man. I look awful.
Christian only gave us 40 rushing yards that game too. So if you think about it,
Christian didn't give the Niners much after he came back. Can we talk about that for a second? He took his sweet time coming back. He waited until he was 110% ready, and he averaged 4 yards a carry in 4 games, got hurt. He's going to be great this year because he was great in 2023, Tyler.
I don't know about that. Again, this season I am banking on Christian McCaffrey almost being a non-factor. If he's
and
there,
you still have him going 5-1 to start the season.
Yeah.
Damn. Jordan James season, bro.
Did you see? Okay, we had like it was the 9th most efficient offense last year with injuries, with literally like never having the same starting group game to game almost.
You can find amazing stats. It's like, sure, that's great. I'm sure, but like I do remember them getting to the. I remember them getting to the red zone and not scoring touchdowns.
Yeah,
though.
I agree. Yes, but I think they'll be more prepared for that this year. I
hope so.
I'm telling. I think
hope so.
They just gave George the monopoly money. He's going to be such a bigger focal point because BA's out, and this is what I've been waiting for his entire career is for George to be the focal point.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Again, I'm going Bucks here. They won that game, but remember the Bucks didn't have Mike Evans or Chris Godwin in that game. Don't know who will be healthy in this game, but I'm picking the Bucks. True. So again, through 6 weeks, you have them at 5-1. I have them at 2-3. No, don't I? 2-3.
You have them 2-4. The Bucks lost. You have them at 2-4.
Oh, right, because 2 + 3 = 5, and 2 + 4 = 6. Week 6. Got it. Math. Okay.
Yep.
2-4, 5-1. Week 7. Sunday night at home against the Falcons.
Niners. I don't like Penix. I'm not a huge believer in him. I thought he was good in college, and then last year, I know he was on like a light, like he didn't have a lot of games, but I didn't see anything. Like if I was a Falcons fan and they didn't draft a quarterback in this draft, I'd have been so heated because he did not look good at the end of last year, and I didn't even see the whole. Whoa, yeah, this guy's our franchise guy. I didn't see a game where I could see why they would feel that way. So I have Niners on this one. Their defense is also really bad.
That's fair. This was one I kept going back and forth on. And I'm going to go with the Falcons because, again, I still have questions about the Niners defense first half of the season. I believe in Saleh. But if you're starting 5 rookies, week 7, and the whole thing with the Niners defense was like, we're drafting run defenders. We want to stop the run. Great. Love that. Are you going to be able to stop Bijan Robinson in November, in October? I don't know. How good's Nick Martin going to be in week 7? How good is Alfred Collins going to be in week 7? I don't know. I mean, this team won more games than the Niners last year.
Do you see their division?
I mean, the Niners lost to the Dolphins last. They lost to Tua last year. Is Penix worse than Tua? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't think so. Maybe.
At least from what I saw last year, yes. Penix was kind of hot trash last year, but he could be better. He was a rookie. albeit a 30-year-old one. But
I mean, Bijan. How many running backs are better than Bijan?
and you have to remember, Penix always has that injury cloud over his head. He came from college tearing both his ACLs.
That's true.
So
That's true. But
he
he's
could
mobile,
not
man.
even be there.
He's mobile. He's mobile. He's gonna make Bijan even better. He's gonna be part of that running game. I mean, how many running backs are better than Bijan Robinson? Really? How many?
Okay, but what did you see? Because I think this is where we're missing here. Is I didn't see anything from Penix last year that tells me he's going to make this team good. Like the games they won last year with Penix. Actually, sorry, they won one game last year with Penix, and it was against the Giants. Like, and Bijan had 2 touchdowns. They had two pick sixes and 2 Bijan touchdowns, and that was the only game they won. Was that he played well against it? Or no, he? Yeah, I don't know, man. He didn't play that well.
They have maybe the second best running back in football.
Yes,
Drake London's really good. We'll see about Penix. They added both Jalen Walker and James Pierce to their defense this year. They won more games than the Niners last year. It's gonna be a close game.
That falls along your rookie thing. Like you're expecting both of them to be what, premier edge, better? Like
no, I'm not saying premier, but better than what they had last year.
All right,
but we'll see.
So you have
this is what I didn't feel so great about, but I still got to go. I don't like the Niners run defense. I mean, I can't get out of my mind what happened to them when they faced Josh Jacobs. I mean, Josh Jacobs destroyed them, and this guy's better, Bijan Robinson. So I don't know. Like it's gonna be a lot of pressure on Fred Warner, that front seven, to really be a lot better against the run than they were last year. Maybe D Winters, maybe Nick Martin, maybe Alfred Kahn. Maybe they'll do it. Okay, so week 8, Houston Texans on the road. Hesitation.
I want to say Niners. That's my hesitation. Is I want to say the Niners will win because Stroud really slumped last year.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure Tank Dell's not going to be back.
Nope.
They also don't have Diggs. So in my opinion, didn't they get worse, the Texans?
Let's take a look at them.
I'm pretty sure they just got worse. And so
they added Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and that's about it. And a bunch, draft picks.
I don't know, man.
Christian Kirk. Excuse me, they got Christian Kirk.
Okay, so they're a volatile team too. Like if you look at last year, like they beat the Bills, they beat a team like the Bills and they got beat like a bongo drum against the Vikings. And then they lost to the Lions, but they made a Chiefs game competitive. So I'm going to go Niners.
I'm going Texans.
I think they got worse. I don't think their offensive line is going to be good enough.
They may have gotten worse, but they still won 10 games last year. And CJ Stroud is a better quarterback than Brock Purdy.
They both came off rough years. So I don't know. Like CJ
didn't win 6 games.
He looks brutal against the blitz, man. It looks tough when that dude gets blitzed. But
he's still found a way to win 10 games.
I was gonna say Texans actually, but I completely swapped. So yeah, I think that my record for them is gonna be.
I got him at 2-6 at this point.
Yeah,
you got him at
6-1.
6-1.
Or 7-1.
Jeez, this could go so many different directions this season. All right, week 9. Week 9.
Yeah.
In New York.
That's a Niner
against
win.
The Giants. Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Jackson Dart. We don't know which quarterback is going to be.
Tommy DeVito. Don't forget about him. They signed him. 49ers. I think that team's just awful. I think their running back. I think their running back. Yeah, Abdul Carter is going to still be trying to find a jersey number that week. So
they might have the worst starting running back in football.
Yeah, I think their running back.
Tracy.
I really like Neighbors. He won me like $500 in fantasy last year. He was great. But I don't trust who's throwing him the ball. God knows who that's going to be. And then, Tracy fumbles it every time he touches the ball. So
let me tell you something, though. I'm picking the Niners to win this game, too.
Thank God.
I'm telling you. But if Trent Williams doesn't play this game, they're going to lose. Oh, they can't beat the Giants without Trent Williams. Because the one thing about the Giants is their D-line is stacked. Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, stacked. Stacked. The Niners can't win this game without Trent Williams. I'm calling it right now. But I don't know why. I don't even expect him to play this season. So maybe I should pick the Giants to win this game, but I'm not. Russell Wilson starting 2-18-3 in his career, even beat him with the Broncos. Scary, dude. Scary.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. So I'm banking on, my guess is by then, Dart is their quarterback.
Yeah.
And they've given up on the season. They're going to be like 1-8 or
Daboll's gotten fired.
Yeah, like they're cooked. So it's like, let's just throw in Dart and see what happens. There's no point in having the vets in. So
I agree with that. I just don't take Daboll seriously.
If Russ plays, actually, I'll agree with you. If Russ plays and Trent is out, I'm giving the Giants a win because Russ is our kryptonite. He always beats us.
That's what I'm saying, man. Reason. This is an interesting season because to me, there's no game where you're like, oh, yeah. It's like
the Saints game. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Saints. All right, week 10, Sunday, home, Rams.
That's our win. I have them splitting the series this season with the Rams because it's a division. We always play them close. I just have us splitting it.
I have the Rams winning this game. This is going to be an interesting moment. Week 10. I feel like this is when the defense could be coming around.
You said 7-10. I think you're on pace for. Wait, don't they have like near 10 losses?
I think I got it at like 3-7 right now. 3-7. Now, remember, 2 years ago, the Rams, who were coming off a bad season, 2022, they were 5-12. Then they started off 2023, they were 3-6.
Yep.
And then they went on a run, made the playoffs.
Yep.
So I do have the Niners at 3-7 right now. The Rams, I think the Niners defense could be starting to gel it by week 10. But my question at week 10 is, where's McCaffrey? Where's Trent Williams? What's their state? Even Brock. Like, what's Brock? Like, is his shoulder hurting? Is his elbow hurting? What's up at week 10?
Yeah. Mine is based on them being relatively healthy.
Which is fair. I think if it's fair to say that. Like, you can't predict injuries. Yeah. So I'm saying I'm working under the hypothesis that they'll be relatively healthy. And I'm working under the hypothesis that their offense won't be based off, history and age and whatnot. Week 11 in Arizona. Mm-hmm. Week 11 in Arizona.
This is where I have us losing.
Okay.
Again, I just think we're going to split the series. I think the Cardinals are a lot better. So, again, there's no real rhyme or reason. It's just I think we're going to split it.
Hold on. I had to Google something real quick before I get my answer. Okay. There's no official release date yet, but it's usually late October, early November. This is rough. See, I feel like this is good for the Niners. November 16th. I think there's a high probability the new Call of Duty will be out by now.
Yeah, it will be.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Tyler's cooked. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
you know what? I'm taking them to win. Yeah. Niners are
I'm picking the Cardinals, but now the more I think about it, like Call of Duty could actually help the Niners win this game.
Yeah. Actually, Kyler Murray is a back half of the season. Like, he's pretty rough.
He's so
in the
bad.
Back half. Yeah. So I'm going Niners. Never mind. Niners sweep the Cardinals this season. So
I'm glad. I wanted you to pick the Niners. Of course, I'm picking the Cardinals, but I wanted you to pick the 49ers. And I think the Call of Duty.
I have the Niners at 10-1 right now, I think.
Yeah, I have them at 3-8.
These could not be.
There's a lot of football left. There's a lot of football left. 3-8. Yeah, I wonder if
for them is
do you think Kyler will go pro in Call of Duty after he retires?
No, he's not that good.
I heard that most pro video game players are like in their teens or like early 20s because the motor skills go quickly. Is that true?
It's a lot less to do with that, more to do with motivation. Because once you get like in your mid-20s, you're like, I don't really want to be playing video games 12 hours a day. I actually follow competitive Call of Duty pretty close. So competitive COD players are like in their mid-20s for the most part. But no, Kyler's not good.
So Kyler's not quite good enough. He wishes.
He's played with a lot of them, and he gets torched. He's had events where he's played with them. But yeah, he's not that good.
All right, week 12, Monday night. At home against the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young had a couple good games toward the end of last season. Number 1 pick.
Okay, I am a huge Bryce Young believer. I
He's good
actually
too.
I really like Bryce Young, and I really think the Panthers are like a dark horse team this year. Not like a dark horse contender, but I genuinely think they are going to be a lot better than people think this year. And since I already have
Interesting.
them beating the Cardinals, and I don't think the Niners are going to go 16-1. I'm going to have to give them the loss here.
Interesting. Which team do you think will be better from this division? Carolina or Atlanta?
Carolina.
Carolina. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I like Carolina. I think Bryce is confident. He got the receiver he wanted.
Yeah, I like that for them. Ted
Yeah.
McMillan. Yup.
I like McMillan a lot. I think their defense is very solid when healthy. And I think their offensive line's actually good. Like I think they have a solid team.
Interesting. Maybe I should have picked this one as a Niners loss instead of the Falcons, but I'm going to go with the Niners winning this game. But I don't feel super confident about it. I mean, again, that
This one's
loss
a
in
coin
Miami
flip.
last year like haunts me. The fact that they lost to Tua and made Tua look so good. I mean, Bryce is better than Tua in my opinion.
Yeah. I like again, I think they'll be better. I could be wrong though. I am biased to Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young's good. I like him as a person. I liked him at Bama. So I'm gonna go Panthers.
All right. So you got him at no, you picked the Niners to beat the Cardinals. So you have them at 11-1.
11-2.
No.
Or 10-2. I have them losing one game to the Rams and then Panther game.
You have them losing to the Panthers.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Sorry, I wasn't listening close enough. That's bold. That's bold. I like that. I like that. Week 13 against the Browns in Cleveland. Yeah, how do you pick the Browns to win this game when you don't even know who they're
quarterback? Have you seen the Browns schedule? I genuinely think 0-17 is on the board. The only game that they could win is the Titans, and I still would pick the Titans. They genuinely could go 0-17 this year.
Yeah. Who do you think the quarterback will be in this game? We'll look back 5 months from now.
Shedeur. I think Shedeur will be by this time. Yeah, they're going to be rolling with one of the rookies. I think it'll be Gabriel or Shedeur.
I think it'll be Joe Flacco, baby.
Late season playoff push.
All right. So week 14, we got a bye week. That's a perfect time.
Niner win.
To do some prize pick time. Oh, where you go? There you are. Add to state. There you are.
So look at that free Anthony Edwards.
I got free Anthony Edwards for that. You see that? Add to the lineup. Boom. So all he has to get is half a point, and I win that one. So you gotta like that. PrizePicks is generous. So that's one of the things about him. So now let's pick some other more or less. That's the game. Warriors playing tonight. Brandon,
just take all their lesses.
All the lesses, right?
I sent you the screenshot last week of my picks. So actually, Kuminga's Kuminga's actually pretty good. This guy
is pretty good. Pods isn't. Let's go to Kuminga then. Kuminga's been like at least aggressive in creating his own shot and getting to the rim and being efficient with that.
Getting benched for scoring points. So
yeah, you're not allowed to. You have to pass around 8 times before you take a shot.
18 points. Ooh.
Easy. He's gonna get more than that.
Go with it. Yeah.
They need it. Okay, more.
And then he's gonna get benched the second he hits.
No, but the question is Jimmy Butler, dude. Like he was so passive in the last game that they said he had the flu or something. So what do you think? Do you think he'll actually be healthy enough to be aggressive in this game?
No, I think they're cooked. I told
26 points.
I told you last week. Timberwolves in 5.
You did say that.
Yeah.
You said that after the Warriors won. The guy got to give you props for that. You said that with such confidence. I love that. Did you hear what they said about Kuminga? There was some report that Kerr was upset because he was like looking off Steph Curry in games. You think it was Kerr who's upset or Curry?
Kuminga's pretty good, man. Why doesn't he get more minutes with this team?
Because it's the same. It's like he doesn't fit their system. He doesn't want to pass 800 times before you're taking a shot. Make it fit. All right, Draymond, what do you think? Assist, points, rebounds. I feel like they keep structuring the defense where he keeps having to take the shot with 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Okay, I give him more than 9 points. That's crazy.
9? That is score more than 9.
Yeah, that's dirty work. Oh my god.
How about Buddy?
He has 11.5. Okay, PrizePicks has them getting rocked. Oh, there you go. You can change it to a demon. make more
You can
money.
change it to like a nice demon or like a mean demon or like a really mean demon or a super mean demon.
What do you think? You have faith? 11.5 is low.
Yeah, man, they need him. They need to like create looks for him. I would say
Yeah. More than 11.5.
And then
Has to be.
finally, the dude who's shooting so freaking bad, the guy who's in like the biggest slump of all time. He's not a
Jack Harlow.
bad player, but man, he's in a bad slump. What do you think? Where are the points at? 7.5 for Brandon. Oh, I mean, he has to get more than 7.5, right?
I mean, you could probably hit a couple demons on that. I think it only went up to 9.5.
Hold on. A couple demons?
Oh, that's points and rebounds. You
Okay.
chose the wrong one, but we can go though.
That happens to me sometimes, and I don't know what that's about. I feel like the Draymond Green, that one got messed up.
Look at us. Look at these picks. If you want free cash, these are the picks.
Absolutely, man. These are the answers. Hold on, Draymond, where you at? 9 field goals attempted. Oh, that's why.
There it is. 9 points.
9 points.
You can do personal fouls.
Yeah.
With Draymond.
Yeah,
Oh.
I would usually do that one for him. 3 assists, field goals attempted, points.
There it is. 11.5. Yeah, he has to have more. All right.
Let's lock it in. Let's flex it out. Let's submit it. Let's download the app and use promo code Cohn and get that $50 instantly when you play 5 for the first time. Okay. Moving on. After the bye week, week 15, Sunday at home against the Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward coming to the Bay. What do you think?
49ers win convincingly.
Yeah. I mean,
I
like Cam Ward a lot. I think he's hella good.
Awful. That roster
but yeah, who's he throwing to? Calvin Ridley?
Traylon Burks.
Ugh. Team is a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
And it feels like what sucks about them is they're not like rebuilding. They spent hella money on mid players and they're like, this is what we got. Calvin Ridley. Yeah. Like, why? What was that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they have Tony Pollard too. That they paid. Yeah. Yeah.
They really went for it. They tried to be the most mid team of all time, and you know what? They didn't even accomplish that.
They couldn't even get that.
They couldn't even get that.
Do you think Levis is going to start by week 15? Do you think they're going to throw every
Levis?
Yeah.
No, I think Cam Ward's a lot better than him, but I don't know.
All right. So we both got Niners winning that.
Niners winning that. So you got them at 12-2. And I have them at
or 13-2 because that's week 15.
No, but we had a bye week.
Oh, yeah.
You're at 12-2. I'm at 4-8. Week 16, Monday night in Indianapolis. One of the most beautiful cities in the world. One of the best teams in the league. Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones. I mean,
whew. Yeah, Niner win convincingly.
Yeah. Buckner.
He should just come back, please. Yeah. Right that wrong.
That team's terrible. How do you take yourself seriously when your quarterbacks are Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones? How do you add Daniel Jones to the team and be like, watch out, league? We got options.
I don't understand why they have not been significantly more aggressive for quarterback. Like that team was a quarterback away like the last 3 years, and now they're having to slowly rebuild because they wasted so much time trying to find a quarterback.
Hasn't Chris Ballard been messing around at the quarterback position his entire tenure there? Like that guy's got to be one of the most overrated general managers.
After Luck retired, they just look like chickens with their heads cut off.
Agree. Week 17, Sunday night at home against Ben Johnson's Chicago Bears.
I have the Chicago Bears winning this. I have Caleb Williams throwing for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns this year. So I think him with Ben Johnson is going to be absolutely disgusting. So, yeah, I have them beating us. But I will say I'll have it closer than we think. But I think the Bears, Caleb Williams has zero excuse with this offense. Actually none. That line is good. The coaching's good. Weapons are good. There's no excuse. That team should be one of the best teams in the NFL this year, at least offensively.
I agree, man. My hot take is they're going to be better than the Lions this year. I think losing Ben Johnson is going to really hurt that team. I think they don't have any confidence in Jared Goff anymore. I don't think Jared Goff has any confidence in Jared Goff anymore.
I'll do you one better. I have them as the best team in their division this year, period. I think they're better than the Vikings. I think they're better than the Packers. I think they're better than the Lions. I think they're the best team in that division this year.
Packers are interesting because they have a good defense, and the Vikings are interesting because they have a good defense, and we don't know anything about JJ McCarthy.
I
They
don't
also have
trust
Jordan Mason,
JJ.
my guy.
So do you have the Bears winning this?
I do. And at this point, the Niners, even though I had them winning like the previous 4 games, you're what are they, 7-9
Yeah,
at
for
this
you,
point?
you have them pretty distraught at this point. Like this
Yeah,
is
I mean, they're pretty much out of it at this point at 7-9. They made it respectable with those wins against Indianapolis and Tennessee and Cleveland, and you had them losing to Carolina. Yeah, I just think the Bears are going to be like what we saw from the Commanders last year with Jaden Daniels taking off. I feel like Caleb's in a similar situation now. You have the coach, you have the supporting cast.
Similar. I think he is in the best situation. I thought last year, I don't care what people say about Waldron. Last year was a disappointment for him. He was in a great situation, regardless of how bad the coaching was. He was not very good last year. This year, like, if he fails with this, like, dude, you're just bad. You're just a bad.
He got sacked 68 times last year, which led the league. And a lot of those were his fault. But this year, I don't think he's going to get sacked 68 times. I don't think Ben Johnson will let it happen. Their offensive line is suddenly good, and I think this scheme will prevent it. And if he does get sacked that much, he'll get replaced. It'll be his fault.
Like I said, mark my words. I'll go back to this podcast clip. Next year, I have Caleb Williams ending the season with over 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns. I think he is going to go off.
I love it. Week 18, Saturday or Sunday, against the Seahawks at home, starting and ending the season with the Seahawks.
Yep. I have the Niners already solidified in their playoff seeding and resting.
Right. So you have them at 13-4. This would be their 4th loss.
Yes.
Correct?
Yep.
Correct. Okay. I have them losing this game because they're already out of the playoffs and they have nothing to play for at this point. Maybe I'm wrong. But I have them 7-10.
So with your take, right, you have them basically fumbling around the entire time. So then with your take, do you have that paired with trade deadlines coming? You start offloading like a Christian McCaffrey, a Brandon Ayuk, Fred Warner. Do you have them offloading people?
Wouldn't be surprised because the way I have the season unfolding is it's a slow start and they make it a little bit of a run after the bye week to make it respectable. But yeah, if they're 2-6 after 8 weeks, they're not going to be bringing in players. They're going to be trading players, like trading Trent Williams if they haven't already, trading Brandon Ayuk if they hadn't already. Yeah,
I respect it,
and I like that we have 2 wildly different outcomes because that's so realistic. There's no in between with Kyle Shanahan's Niners. They're either the best freaking team in the NFC or the second best, or a team that fumbles around and embarrasses itself for a season.
And I'm not going to let Purdy off the hook either. It's the same way with him. I think he's very volatile. I think Kyle's very volatile. And I think this year is going to be down to what last year was. A lot of fourth quarters, man. I think it's going to be a lot of fourth quarters. And again, adversity. I don't think we're going to be, I think there are a handful of teams in this schedule we can just beat on, but there are going to be some teams like the Rams, the Jags, even possibly the Cardinals, the Texans that could possibly start with a lead. How are Kyle and Brock going to respond? So, yeah, I think either one of us are going to be on point. I don't think they will be average. Like, I'll just say that. I do not think they will be 9-8.
I agree with that. And the thing with Brock is, like, he thought he was under pressure last year to prove that he's worth the contract. I think he might be even under more pressure and scrutiny this year if he gets the contract, because he gets $54 million a year or something like that, and then starts the season 2-6. He's going to hear about it. And I mean, he won't hear the end of it. So I'm curious to see how that goes.
This year is going to be the year where Brock or Kyle's heads are going to start rolling, because you have the super Brock fans, the super Kyle fans. And if they struggle this year, you're not going to be able to blame Saleh. You're not going to be able to blame Saleh. I can promise you that.
And you can't blame the defense with 5 rookies on it. It's about its offense that's been sticking together forever.
Yeah, especially, dude, imagine Christian and Trent get hurt. Oof.
Well, I mean, I don't think you have to imagine it. It just happened last year. Dazza says Niners go 7-10. Who's fired? And Nobody. What would that say about Purdy after the likely big contract?
So I don't think, hot take, I don't think Kyle's going anywhere. I think the organization is very committed. I think if anyone gets fired, it is John. And I think but it'll be labeled as like a resignation, like he wants to go explore TV again. But I think John will leave. I think Sala will stay, and I think Kyle will stay. I think they will draft a quarterback next year, though, regardless if he's signed to a big contract or not. If they go 7-10 or worse, they will have a new quarterback competing with Brock next year, contract or not.
That's bold. I like that. If they go 7-10 next year, and their defense shows promise and improves as the season goes along, but the offense is the same kind of injury-prone mess that it was last year, and Saleh starts getting head coach consideration, they think they're going to lose him. I wonder.
You actually think Jed would ever let Kyle out of that building? You really? I don't see a universe.
It's a good question. I see what you mean, man. But do you think he's going to let Saleh out of that building twice? Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Here's another thing. What do you think about the quarterback situation? Say Purdy, say he even does get like a stinger in the arm again. His throwing arm gets hurt a little bit again, and they go 7-10 or worse. Do you think, like what I think, they're going to draft the quarterback next year to compete?
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. It doesn't matter that they gave him a contract. They spent 3 first-round picks on Trey Lance, and
it'll be after Jimmy's
and aborted that project immediately. So it's like, okay, we gave you money. Well, we're still going to draft a quarterback, and if he's the starter, we'll just pretend we gave him the money.
Yep. That's kind of what I'm feeling.
And next year's supposed to be the great draft for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Also, don't sleep on Curtis Rourke. Don't you dare sleep on Curtis Rourke.
I won't. I think Curtis Rourke is an amazing injured player that Kyle's going to love unconditionally. But yeah, no, next year is a lot of raw talent in the draft. Like, that's where Kyle can even make that. That's another reason I don't think they'll let go of Kyle next year, is because Kyle will be like, let me mold one of these kids, like Leave It or Alar or, Arch. I don't think Arch is going to come out, but he could even throw an Arch or Nico. He's going to be like all over someone and be like, let me mold him.
I just feel like Jed's kind of positioned the Niners to be able to move on from Kyle while keeping his structure in place. That's what Eddie did with Walsh. 10 years, 3 championships, really forced him out after a Super Bowl win and didn't change the template. You just promoted the defensive coordinator, head coach, and you kept Mike Holmgren, who was the offensive coordinator under Walsh. So it's like, I mean, they could just promote Saleh to head coach and promote Clay Kubiak to play caller on offense and be like, Kyle, thank you so much for building all this. You're burnt out. You need some time off. Maybe you need greener pastures somewhere else, but you're burnt out, man. Thank you very much.
I think they would have done that this year with Ben Johnson available. And if they do fire Kyle next year, I will be pissed off because I would.
No, but my theory is that the replacement, the heir apparent, is Saleh. This is a defensive-oriented team.
But okay, now with your record, there's no way Purdy starts the entire season. So you think Mac Jones is going to come in? Is my assumption.
Yeah, I think that's a fair expectation. Again, I don't want to bet on players to get hurt because it's kind of morbid.
Not hurt. I think Purdy would.
Yeah.
I think if he's struggling too bad, they'd put in Mac.
Also, I have another thing. This has occurred to me. So they've made the season 17 games, and they're trying to get the 18th game. I feel like some vets just kind of, without saying it, they're like, I'm not playing 17 games. You're not getting 17 games. I mean, like, Trent Williams has never played 17 games in a season. Never will. George Kittle has never played 17 games in a season. I wonder if he ever will. I wonder if some guys are like, you know what? No. Well, you'll get 15 and you'll like it.
That's what I said. I said my assumption is George gives us 14 in playoffs. Trent gives us 12 to 14 in playoffs. And then Christian is probably
12 to 14 from Trent would be a huge win.
Yeah, I agree.
Huge. Jermaine Pickett, member for 44 months. Thank you so much, Jermaine. All right. Well, Warriors play in 15 minutes. I want to watch that game. Big game. I'm going to go live again after the game. Tyler, you're welcome to jump on with me if you're not doing anything.
Yeah. I mean, by after the game, like, are you talking about like halftime when they're down 20 to 30 points, or are you actually going to wait the whole time out?
It seems like Anthony Edwards waits until the third quarter.
He woke up, dude. My buddy
and I was talking crap about him in the DMs with you, and then I just stopped. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
You literally were like, Anthony Edwards ain't it. And then third quarter starts, and that dude's like, all right, Grant, let's see.
Okay, I will never criticize him ever again. All right. See you guys in like 3.5 hours. Thanks, Tyler.
See ya.